Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the Trenches. It's your host, Marlon, Big Fave Favorite. And I'm like ecstatic, y'all. I'm bucked up. I'm feeling it.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Green Wave. Shouts out to the Tulane Green Wave. CL. Before we jump into that, I will say this. Big ups to our sponsors, right? Big ups to Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys. Take a little sip on that. Got my ice cold, get Gordon, get it done, Yeti. Speaking of that drinking water, shouts out to Dr. Kendra. She's gonna come on next week. She's gonna come with her line of sea moss. She got the elderberry. She might have that sports drink for us. Ooh, pre and post workout. So big ups to Dr. Kendra. Stillbody.org. Y'all be sure to visit right now. Go ahead, check it out. Let them know that you heard about them right here on Inside the Trenches. If y'all want to get y'all speed up 365, we're gonna definitely go ahead and roll with that. CL, I'm excited because we had a university that really held it down. I mean, held it down for us.
Much needed
this weekend. We had two of our major schools two of our major teams in the state lose, and I got to get the update on UL. I'll have to get the update on ULM and all of those scores. But Tulane did exceptionally well against Army. Just to go over a couple of the big stats, they run defense held Army 358 yards. So the front seven was very disciplined on a triple option. Tulane's quarterback, Jake Resliff, 22 completions for 29 yards, 261 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had 1 interception. D, he was clutch, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of crazy just to see that. I'm not that in depth on it, but I think it's kind of crazy to see those stats on it. You know.
Yo, this is y'all first time meeting my man Damian. Damian is usually behind the microphone, producing the show.
Yes.
Y'all hear this cool intro we has. That's the guy who produced it. Damian's actually going to join us in segment 4. We're going to talk about the Cash Money No Limit matchup. So we're going to talk a little more with you on that one.
True musical guy.
Definitely. Just perform. But while we have you on this first segment, you had a show this weekend.
Yeah, of course.
See how he said, of course. See how he said, of course.
I mean, I have the blessing to be part of the West Bank Hispanic Heritage Festival. A lot of people was over there. A lot of like TV shows and like radio stations was over there from the Latin community here in New Orleans. It was my first time to be a headliner in there.
Wow,
so I did. Yeah, I did an hour set with a fellow students here like Mateo, Imad, and other people from the crew that I'm working with here in Loyola. So it was amazing. It was just a great opportunity to display my music and represent the Latin community here, you know.
Big ups to Damian, man. Big ups, bro. Well, West Bank, you know what I'm talking about?
You know the beautiful part about this this show is that it's actually shot, at Loyola, and there's an immense amount of talented people running around all day, every day, especially UP. Unfortunately, he's out sick today. Get better, UP. But the one thing about me is I've always been able to see and assess talent very, very quickly. And this young man is so very talented, and it only took about maybe 2 times to run across him to realize that. And I'm just happy to be a part of this emergence of talent that is surrounding Loyola on Monday nights, because it truly is a uplifting type of thing to see this young man on stages at Jazz Fest and at Heritage community situations, and it's just quite amazing because he's literally a student at Loyola Uptown. So,
and it's cool. And I know y'all used to seeing Lil Chris in that spot. He at the NBA YoungBoy concert, so big ups to all our Loyola students that
do your job.
Because look, if I was y'all age, I've been trying to get in that concert. Back in the day, that was Lil Wayne for us, so. Breaking all kind of records. I think he's one of the top streaming artists right now on Apple
Sure.
Music and other platforms and stuff
Sure.
like that. But I definitely look forward to talking a little bit more about the music in our last segment. Y'all stick around later on in the show. We're going to talk about this versus that's coming up between No Limit and Cash Money. Damian's our residential musician as well here, so
Definitely.
I love to get his take. So I do want to. I'm purposely doing this. Now, normally we would start off with our two, I would like to say, main teams in the state, but I want to focus on Tulane. First and foremost, big ups to Coach John Summerall, good friend of mine. Conquer Sports Pros, when we first really got started as a company, he was one of those coaches that came along and evaluated our stuff all the time. So I appreciate him. He spent some time at Troy. This is his second stint back at Tulane for our viewers that don't know. But just looking at the games, Northwestern, they beat Northwestern 23-3. They beat South Alabama after that. They come on and beat Duke. You know, that was a big game. Their quarterback left Tulane, starting quarterback leaves Tulane and goes to Duke, and they win that game. Now you lose to Ole Miss. Incidentally speaking, the next week LSU lost to Ole Miss. So, okay, that's fine. Beat Tulsa. You beat a very high speed, just quick, no huddle, kind of that Ole Miss type pace team in East Carolina. And then this matchup in Army. Army runs that triple option. CL, you know how hard that is to defend. So let's talk about this impressive win, man. Tulane is on the run right now. They have Navy, South Florida, and they're third in the American Conference. Your thoughts on this matchup against Army?
Well, the matchup against Army with Tulane every year is very interesting because there's always two different philosophies. We know, as you say, Army runs the wing tee or the option, however you want to call it, and Tulane is a more open, widespread open type of offense. And the characteristics tend to mix and not mix. The beautiful thing about this team and this game is it's not a secret how Tulane got to 5-1. They're a football team that collectively comes together, stays together.
Mm-hmm.
This game actually ended with Tulane scoring 14 points in the fourth quarter. You know, you don't see those type of outbursts offensively from pretty much any teams, you know. So for them to be able to have a somewhat of a comeback against a team that would grind it out and run the football, play 4-minute football to end it was quite impressive. And I know Coach Summerall is probably getting ulcers of where this team is winning, but at the end of the day, they 5-1, and it's probably the most uplifting thing in Louisiana right now.
It really is, and I have to say that one it was 7 points. It was 7 points until the last 15 seconds of the game when Resliff found Shavaz Preston for that juggling catch.
Right.
I think it was like a top ESPN play.
Definitely.
And that was the entire production that he had that whole game. So I mean, here's my thing moving forward with this Tulane team. They got an opportunity to get in the playoffs.
It's there.
It's right there.
Yeah,
you know, they pick one American team each year. They could potentially be that team. Also, you got to roll with the momentum. When the momentum's on your side as a team, that's something that you got to really hone in on. And Coach Summerall has been doing an exceptional job of that.
I mean, Coach, if you could roll some of that momentum down St. Charles Street to 1500 Sugar Bowl Drive, because think about it, Tulane 6-1, Saints 1-6. You know, so if you could just throw some of that momentum down the street, but nothing to take away from the Green Wave. They've been showing up for the past 3-4 years every Saturday, and I'm proud to say that there's good football being played in New Orleans on Saturdays, uptown New Orleans, and for right now, they're must-see TV for Louisiana because they're holding the flagship down.
I want to talk about something with this Tulane team, and it's something that Coach Summerall caught, obviously, looking for his next quarterback in the portal.
Yes,
and, bringing in Resliff has really ignited this team, bro. Like, boom, you play against in the Gasparilla Bowl against Florida, you lose that game. You play an SEC opponent, right? Year before, you beat Caleb Williams, USC.
Classic game.
Like, 2 years prior to that, Coach Summerall, I want to say that was his first season. But to understand having a mobile quarterback, and this has been a hot topic, Damian, for a while with us. It's just, and we're going to, this segment, we do have to cover another college team that I love dearly to my heart. But I think just understanding what it means to actually have a mobile quarterback in today's game. Now, I saw a couple of shouts out to my homie Jason the Hater out there.
Jason the Hater.
Yep, he the hater, baby, out there in Memphis. As a matter of fact, I did the Undugu Fest out there this past fall. I gotta bring you out there next time.
Okay.
Yes.
You go to Memphis, bro?
No, I didn't go. I haven't got the opportunity to go. But I would love to go. To be over there and perform and meeting some people over there. Like that's an incredible opportunity, I would say.
You always got to let the sponsors hear you say, "Yeah, you're willing to do it."
There you go.
Yeah, always open to it.
Well, Jason played quarterback in college. He played in high school, and he was like, you don't necessarily have to be mobile in the pocket. I don't necessarily find that to be true, and I'll tell you why. It's the edge rushers these days. It's the speed of the game. It's the speed on the edges, right? So where you used to could have your shifty receivers, Deion Sanders was the fastest guy on the field in terms of the secondary.
Yep.
We know that at his prime, locked down the corner. Most of your receivers ran 4.7s back in the day. Every once in a while, you catch an occasional 4.5, 4.6 pop out there. But the guys weren't as fast. LSU's entire receiving core runs a 4.3, right? But you also have correct. You also have a secondary that moves shifty like that as well.
Right.
So now with those windows closing quicker, everything shuts down faster. So you have to be able to adjust on the run and
mentally
and do it. And that's what I thought Ratzlaff did for Tulane. He led them in rushing, 62 yards rushing. So that speaks volumes. I mean, of course, Helium, they run the triple option, so your quarterback
they were going to run regardless.
So that is what it is.
They accounted, and that's the thing. What Fav is saying is, Army accounted for their quarterback running the football.
Yeah.
Tulane or any one of Tulane's opponents are not accounting for the quarterback running like that. So I'll just bring, and never to compare, but I would just bring you back to where Mr. Daniels played at LSU and he ran for 1,000 yards that year. When your quarterback is that mobile, the defense can never settle in, or they can never pin their ears back. So, in make a long story short, this young man is doing both, not only in the air but also on the ground, and it's effective because even if the other guys just get 5 to 6 carries, they end up having over 100 yards rushing each game, and that is equal wins for the Tulane Green Wave.
If y'all just tuning in to Inside the Trenches, baby, we're talking Tulane Green Wave. Congratulations to Tulane.
Definitely. Big
time win against Army. Much needed win. A last minute win. It was 17-17. Tulane makes a last 5-second play. Yep. Big play by Preston, their big dog receiver. All right. So LSU lost this weekend to Vanderbilt, right? There goes the elephant in the room. I'll go ahead and get that out there. Couple things to point out in this loss. It was 31-24. LSU scored 3 points in the first quarter, 10 in the second quarter, and basically plateaued the rest of the game. Couple things I wanted to point out that I didn't point out the other night when we did our post game with LSU Sports Radio. I did mention that the coaches should definitely take a look at the man in the mirror, and the players should take a look at the man in the mirror because it was a collective effort in losing. Number of things I pointed out was the fact that we lost contain a lot. Diego Pavia was able to do whatever he wanted to do when he wanted to do it. We got out schemed defensively. I thought that we were going to make some adjustments throughout the game. We didn't. on the offensive side of the ball, LSU still struggles to establish a run game. Especially when you don't have a quarterback that like to be mobile. I can't express how important that is. You do have big-time players. Big-time players do make big-time plays, like West Bank's very own Xavier Thomas bust out like a 62-yard run.
Right.
You know, basically on a wish that Nussmeier threw. Trey Green, he lit the scene up, baby. Anytime he was targeted, he was making a play. I wish we would have went to him more. But I think the bigger picture, y'all, more than anything else, and y'all feel free to comment below. Y'all can chime in right here on the ESPN Baton Rouge's live YouTube. Feel free to join in the conversation. I know Tobi and Tyler, they do a good job. I always do that, Taylor. Always do a good job at getting us some of the comments. So I do want to hear what the fan base have to say. But I don't think it was really, I can sit here and say, oh, man, Coach Salone could have coached up a better game, or, man, if they would have just did this, Blake Baker. Or even along the lines of individual players. Man, Trey Green, I wish he could have did a little more. The grit is missing. I was talking to my homie BT earlier, man, and we were just talking about how, man, these guys look pretty soft out there. I mean, players being stuck on blocks, a quarterback being able to move how he wants to move in the pocket, step up, step back, run when he wants to. I do think that Coach Clark Lee came with a plan. He came in the game with what he had. That's all he had.
Right.
He don't have all the big-time players we have here at Texas. Or he have guys that nobody was checking for Diego Pave before the season.
Nope.
They knew he was a little shifty quarterback down there, but nobody was really checking for him.
He wasn't comparing him to Manziel back then.
At all. He looked like Manziel out there, though. So I just really challenge the players to just not necessarily putting it all on y'all, but heck, I saw Coach Miles get a lot of criticism his last few years for just running the ball. Just give it to Leonard and let Leonard do it. Run, little Lenny, run.
Run.
Let Leonard just run the ball. You do the same thing, guys. But and the defenses were tough. Guys coming downhill hitting. You see a handful of guys out there for LSU really flying around CL. You see Cooley. He flying around. They dare not throw it to Delaney's side.
Right.
I think the team is just really missing the mental toughness that translate the physical toughness onto the field. What's your thoughts? Sip on that one up.
Yeah, baby. Well, we're finally here. We're finally here to the point where we realize that LSU has no identity. LSU has never had identity. And usually identity comes from the head coach. I personally feel like there's a disconnect with the head coach and the team. So the identity is up in the air. You know, I do commend them for running the football 21 times and only throwing it 28 times. But once I looked in the numbers, they were dominated. They were dominated in the time of possession. But that's possibly was the reason why. You know, it's unfortunate that there is a disconnect at LSU because there's so much talent everywhere. Mm-hmm. Trey Green should touch the ball 10 times every game, you know, regardless of all the other talent that's around him. Because once again, when we think about LSU football, we think about dominating the line of scrimmage. We think about the offensive line. We think about the defensive line. And we think about ending football games with runs and not passes. And it's just unfortunate because you know this team has all the weapons. You know, you got a top 10 defense. The defense didn't look top 10 Saturday, probably because they were on the field more times than they needed to be. It was hard to get 3 and outs when you're not accounting for the quarterback, as we alluded in last segment. No one accounted for Pavia being able to not just run, but effectively run. First down runs on third down. First downs runs on second and long. You know, you just don't account for that in the scheme of a football game. And not only did it give them the momentum, it also, I believe, broke the spirit of LSU because they knew to a man that the offense wouldn't be able to produce what they needed to get over this hump.
In addition to that, too, we did have some guys out.
Yeah.
We didn't have Whit Weeks.
Yeah.
We didn't have.
He didn't have a starting left tackle.
Restliff. Tyreek Adams went down in the first two drives of the game.
I'm aware.
So you did have some guys that was missing some key players.
Yeah.
But that's where the depth come into play at. That's where it's the next man up mentality, and that's really how you have to start really stacking your teams now, because we have really entered an era of football where it doesn't matter if you're big Ohio State or LSU anymore. It's really anybody could get it now.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, Indiana is ranked number 3, number 4 overall, right? There's a coach that did an exceptional job. This is an era where coaching is being exposed. Before, you could have all these great players just wanting to go to an LSU or Florida and play for Urban Meyer, have an opportunity to play for Ed Ogeron.
5 stars on the bench.
5 stars on the bench waiting their opportunity to come. Yeah, this is all real. That time is gone. I thought that Coach Clark Lynn had made a really great point. I don't know if this interview was before or after the game, but he talked about how important it is to really build your program from the bottom up and the top down. Like, you can't just build it from the bottom up no more, meaning this is what Coach Saban strived off of and won tons of championships doing this.
Right.
Being able to get a guy in as a freshman, either redshirt him or let him get his feet wet, transform into a sophomore sensation, and then the next 2 years he'll have an option to ball out, leave as a junior, which Saban would advise that as well, and or leave as a senior. And then you have a guy like Quinn Williams, play for the Jets, defensive tackle for the Jets. That guy basically rotated in as a player and rode the bench all the way to his last year at Alabama, then balled out, then went on to the NFL as a first-round draft pick. That day is gone. Guys are looking to come in and play right away. If you're a high school football player, you have to be a 5-star to get immediate playing time. Being a 5-star, and I don't mean the old school 5-star where some beat writer saying, oh, this guy is good, he can catch the ball, he can run. No, like companies like us at Conquer Sports, we go through deep dive evaluations to see if a guy could really start playing right now. That's the time we're in. Transfer portal, meaning if you're an incoming freshman, you got to be able to compete, CL, with a guy who has 10, 15 games playing experience. Welcome to the NFL.
Right.
Welcome to the pre-NFL. This is the money game. It's no longer a time where, let's look at this, right? Just looking at the top teams. Texas A&M, they undefeated at 4-0 in conference and undefeated overall.
Money.
Big time money. Meaning you go to LSU game, you might catch a billionaire too. Shouts out to Tide, what I'm saying, the rest of my crew over there.
Shouts out to Tide.
Shouts out to my homie, the Gordon Money team. Shouts out to G.
Shouts out to God.
You got some big dogs in there. Man, you go to Texas A&M game, you got 14, 15 billionaires in one suite.
Well, the crazy part about it is Texas A&M has so much money that people don't even realize the helmet says ATM.
That's crazy.
Think about it. Yeah. Now, look, and they did that by design. If you look at it, it looks like ATM. But Alabama, 1 loss, undefeated in conference play. Georgia, 1 loss in conference play. Ole Miss just lost to Georgia this weekend. 1 loss, 1. Y'all see where I'm going? Texas, 2 loss, 2-1 in conference play. Like, just like that, these teams, Ole Miss, Texas, Missouri. We used to call them Mizzou. Like, it was a joke. We lost to Mizzou. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? They're now 6-1. Oklahoma 6-1. Vandy 6-1. Vandy? That's almost like practice, right? But that goes to show you, and we're at 2-2, 5-2. Then you got Tennessee 2-2, 5-2, Florida, they just fired Billy Napier at 2 and 2, 3 and 4. Y'all see the trend that I'm doing here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is.
Can't wait till we talk about buyouts.
Well, we got an open segment. What this is the next two. One of these we could kind of we'll go through the list of the different buyouts of the different
Let me
coaches
bring my
out there.
GM back to the show.
There you go. But this just goes to show you we don't usually hear from Ole Miss like that. We don't usually hear from Missouri like that. We don't usually hear from Vanderbilt like that. It's the money game.
Right.
These teams, you got players like CL, like you just mentioned, that would usually be 5-stars sitting on the bench.
Wait.
Them 5-stars going to play.
Yeah. And they're going to get paid to play.
And they're going to get paid to play.
Imagine me sitting on the bench. Because think about it. If you're a 5-star and you're trying to sit on the bench at any university, they're not going to pay you as much because they know you're there to sit on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
You can go get starter money and be a starter somewhere else. Like, okay, I get it. Vanderbilt in the grand scape of college football might not be the destination, but I'm gonna tell you, Tennessee is nice. It's nice, clean weather. Vanderbilt is in the SEC. They got decent uniforms. Oh, and yeah, with this NIL deal, you're a millionaire. I think you'll be okay. Guys are deciding to go to Vanderbilt, Iowa, wherever, just to get the bread, because at the end of the day, the money, the ultimate goal for them is either to get the money or go to the league or both.
And there's, like I say, the surface, as we wrap here, y'all, the surface is changing.
Right.
Like it used to be, man, let me go 3 and out. You don't have to go 3 and out.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting enough money in college.
You can stay full.
You need to. You can stay full, or like I say, do the 5. It's okay to red shirt.
Do the 5.
It's okay to red shirt unless the portal hitting, right? So that's what I say. We can't. It's hard to just point the finger at the coach, point the finger at the player. It's a different system in the schools that could adjust quicker, adapt and adjust quicker. Climbs up the ladder. Vanderbilt don't have a lot of nobody was checking for them. Nobody was checking for Mizzou.
And I'd even say this, and it's to your point.
Mm-hmm.
It's the system. I don't think all the guys at LSU believe in the system that they're running.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the players think they should possibly be running something else. Somebody else maybe at the helm at wide receiver. Because think about it, they all go to practice together. They see who really balling.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, game day, that's not the way game day is dictated. So once again, I just think it's a major disconnect, and I think it starts from the top. And the quicker they address it, the quicker they'll turn around, because I don't see it changing. Because if you can't run the football, you can't win football games.
Well, we got to figure this out this week if you're LSU, because Texas A&M is coming to town. And it ain't Santa Claus is coming to town. This is an undefeated team, period. It's just undefeated, period. It's not just undefeated in conference. It's not just they up there. Texas A&M, I think, ranked like 3 or something. I got to check that they about to drop the. We'll probably talk about that next segment. We're gonna go around the NFL next segment as well. As far as the team that we started talking about, Tulane, they take on UTSA. Big ups to John Emery, former LSU Tiger. He'll be taking on Tulane, and they go to San Antonio. He's at Texas San Antonio.
Okay, that was this year where he
was at LSU last year.
Okay.
He transferred from LSU.
Right.
Here.
Okay.
Yep, so that's his story. Well, look, y'all, if y'all gotten a car injury, or you know anybody who had gotten a car injury, any accidents, get going, baby. Get it done. Hit up the Gordon Crew 504-800-8888. Let them know that you heard about them right here on Inside the Trenches. Hey, y'all don't go nowhere. We got much more. We're going to go around the NFL. We're going to talk a little college football, who the top teams are. Man, there's a Florida job open. I'm hearing a couple of names come up with that. And, hey, it's Inside the Trenches, baby. Y'all don't go nowhere. Right here on ESPN Baton Rouge. Hello, somebody.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Conquer Sports Professionals.
Hello, somebody. It's Marlon Big Fave Favorite, Super Bowl champion and national champion. Here's the truth. Almost anybody could play college football and get a scholarship or financial aid if they know who's looking for them. Now, you may not be a Division I or Division II football player, but that doesn't mean you can't play college football on the next level. There's hundreds and thousands of schools out there that's looking for football players like you to give you a great education. Right now, the average cost of school is $27,000 a year. That means that's $180,000 just to graduate. Imagine cutting that number down with a football scholarship or financial aid support. At Conquer Sports Pros, we find the right schools that fit you, your talent, your goals, and your future. And they will pay for your education through football. Don't waste time guessing. Let us connect you with coaches and programs that are already searching for players like you. If you're serious about playing football in college to pay for your education, click the link below or visit csportspros.com and schedule a call today. Hello, somebody.
Conquer Sports Professionals. Inside the trenches.
Here is where your story continues. Stretch the limits of your imagination. Create the world as you see it. One letter, one word, one pixel at a time. Move to the rhythm of your own story. Make something more. For him and her and them, for the world. Do what you love. Tell stories like never before in state-of-the-art recording, news, and editing studios. Created just for you. Learn skills that will never expire. Document moments, seconds, frames per second. Turn them into masterpieces. Creativity is more than a lifestyle. Make it a career. Tune into the sounds around you. Those notes, you were always meant to sing them. Creative boundaries, you were always meant to break them. Become the creative professional you are destined to be at the Anchor Institution for the Creative Economy. This is a stage, a world stage. New Orleans, culture rich. Loyola, hands-on access. Make the next move. Perform and work immediately. We do things differently. Use your creativity to impact society. Expand your mind. Be with and for others. Continue your story in the College of Music and Media at Loyola University, New Orleans.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Well, hello, somebody. Welcome back to Inside the Trenches. It's your host, Marlon Big Fave Favorite, and we are live and indirect here at Loyola Studios in beautiful New Orleans, Louisiana. And yes, it is ESPN Baton Rouge Live YouTube. Well, y'all, we started the first segment off giving Tulane their props. Same thing goes for what they're doing, not only in their conference, but for the state. You know, we dealt with a couple L's that we didn't really want to experience this weekend, which we'll jump into a little bit of that here in regards to our precious New Orleans Saints segment 3. But here in segment 2, just want to kind of go around the league, a couple of games from this weekend. Again, y'all feel free to chime in below. And we also want to take this time to thank stillbody.org. That's right, stillbody.org. Health Nut System. Shouts out to Dr. Kendra and all that they do for the show. That's the website I mentioned first to get the wonderful products. I talked about the CMOS and her Total Body. Always do that. Still Body. Sorry, Dr. Kendra. Monday Brain. Her Total Body, and also the Speed Up 365, both products that I use with my daily workouts. Did my Levy workout earlier today, so big ups to her. CL, I think it's appropriate to start off with Thursday night's game because it was a big-time game. Bengals, Steelers. Shouts out to Prime Video and the Thursday night football games this year. Y'all made a 180. Last year, trash. It was the poorest games. The Thursday games was horrible.
But it's hard to get up for these Thursday games. You know, I would never in life sit here and act like to get up for a game that's played on Sunday is somewhat easy. I would definitely never sit here and act like to get up for a game on Thursday is easy. You know, the NFL is very difficult. This is not an easy sport. And to see these guys get up on a Thursday night and perform as they did was quite commendable.
It was, and a lot of folks criticize Aaron Rodgers. Oh, he's washed up. He need to go ahead and give it up. Da-da-da-da. Dude was 23 for 34, had 249 yards.
Right.
Still throwing the deep balls. He was 76% on a quarterback ratio. He did throw 2 interceptions.
Right.
Jalen Warren rushed for 127 yards, just to kind of give y'all, if y'all didn't watch it, the stats from the players in that game. From a reception standpoint, you had Fremont. He had 11. He was 111, 5 receptions. DK Metcalf, 3 receptions for 50 yards. So they tried, but nothing could touch what Jamar Chase did. 16 receptions, 24 targets for 161 yards.
What an idea.
By far, CL, one of the best performances out of receivers this whole weekend.
Well, for the first of all, let us not ignore the fact that Joe Flacco was on another team 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
To come in on a Thursday night and play against a formidable Pittsburgh Steelers team, because with or without Aaron Rodgers, they still make it to the playoffs every year, regardless of who their quarterback is. So with that being said, now what a lovely concept to actually have a good player and you actually target him more than 5-6 times a game. Feed the beast, right?
Yeah.
Feed the beast. We all know Jamar Chase is a beast. That's why he get paid the price he gets paid, and that's why he did what he did against a formidable Pittsburgh Steelers defense. And not to outshadow him, but obviously T. Higgins was the one to catch the deep ball and fall down and not score the touchdown to quintessentially end the game. So good ball by everybody on that Thursday night. But definitely shouts out to Joe Flacco for being able to come up and rise to the occasion against a formidable offense and defense against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
342 yards on this so-called washed-up Flacco.
We ain't throw for 300 yards all season.
Yeah, and he ran an option play. It's
Did
crazy.
It
was wild, but they did win that game, Cincinnati, 33-31. And I'll say this: they still have a losing record. Pittsburgh went to this game 3-2.
Right.
Now they have 500. I got up early Sunday morning.
Oh, really?
Checked out a little bit of Pastor Stamps on my Facebook Live, got my word in, and then I did check out the Rams and the Jaguar games. They played out in London games. The Rams are back. I was for a long time.
I know they went anywhere.
For a long time, I was trying to figure out this year, because it took a little while. It really took us to get to mid-season to really see. It took me a minute to figure out what conference or what division should I say is the best division? I was like, it's NFC North. You got Detroit. You got Green Bay. You got, look like Chicago. They got Detroit's coaching Ben Johnson. It's going to be the Vikings. Vikings fake news, right? Detroit, you kind of see what Ben Johnson missing a little bit. Now, they're playing tonight, right? Am saying Brown just got me some fantasy points. But but the NFC West is coming back alive. You got a 4-2 Seattle team. You got the 5-2 Rams now. I want to say, Arizona, they're the only team struggling. And I'm missing a team that's doing exceptionally well over there. Only San Francisco only got 2 losses. You see what I'm saying? So it looks like the NFC West is at the top, bro.
And just, everything that I speak of, it's almost like I'm double talking because I'm giving you this information, but I'm also giving you this information because the team that I so desperately follow and hope to change around in the near future, should be doing these things. Just as Fave mentioned earlier, Warren for the Pittsburgh Steelers ran for over 100 yards. The Detroit game, they're gonna run for over 100 yards, and they're helping the quarterback. When you can run the football, you help the quarterback. You take a load off the quarterback, and this is what happens. Good teams run the football, they help the quarterback, and they win games. San Francisco has had a litany of injuries. Even the great Fred Warner is in the suite looking at the game, and they pull off this Monday night game last night, which no one thought they could win against an Atlanta team that's looking pretty formidable themselves because what they can do, they can run the football. And just hats off to all the people in the NFC West because they seem to be the cream of the crop. And obviously, I won't have to tell y'all about what Seattle can do.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle, they got Sam Darnold. He's doing his thing, playing exceptionally well. But I looked at this LA team and I'm like, man,
Kendrick
I got
Williams.
Yeah, he had 54 yards rushing. But I'm like, because they made it balanced because Corum had touched the rock to Blake Corum. So I'm like, man, Matthew Stafford and I the same age, bro. And he's still playing like he in his 20s. He had 182 yards, no interceptions, playing clean football.
He don't get hit.
Because they got an offensive line.
And they're running the football, so even if they do play action, he's still not getting hit.
And Sean McVay making some really good play calls.
Yeah.
And you didn't even have
known for that.
Devontae Adams stepped up. You didn't have Puka Nacua.
Yeah, Puka went down.
He was out this game.
So that speaks even more volumes. Puka didn't even play.
And in addition to that, you got defensively, you got Quinn Lake making some big plays.
I don't understand how they do it on defense. I really don't.
You got they're doing it with the numbers. They had 7 sacks.
Oh,
the LA Rams
versus
what
I'm calling them versus, but Jared Verse.
Jared Verse. I want to say I think he had a sack and a half.
He's a very effective young man. I have to deal with.
No, he had 1 sack.
I have to deal with him in SoFi beginning of next month. So
right.
I'm very aware.
So and then you look at on the Jacksonville side, they just really couldn't get any production based off of those plays that were made, the sacks and stuff like that. So Travis Hunter had one heck of a game, got his first NFL touchdown. He was productive on defense as well. Receiving yards, he had 100. We'll talk about that in a second. He had 100 yards total with 8 receptions. But, defensively, I thought he did okay for the most part. He did have 1 pass breakup. They tried him. He was sticking Devontae Adams. Now, you say that they wasting him. You're saying, like, he should probably play on one side of the ball, or they kind of spreading him thin?
Yeah, this is the thing. I'm happy for him to be able to get that shot to play on both sides. And I do understand it's also a marketing ploy by the Jacksonville Jaguars. You sell more tickets like that. I totally get it. What's interesting? Think about it. You got Goldilocks in Jacksonville. He gets paid $55 million a year. And that's still not good enough to get butts and seats, right? You have to have another attraction, even though the defense is pretty good. We don't talk about Jacksonville's defense.
Yeah, I was about to get to that.
Thank you, brother. And so, what I'm saying about Travis is when you split him up like that, he's a better wide receiver than he is a corner, in my opinion. He's more effective to the team as a wide receiver than he is as a corner. So if you let him concentrate on being a better wide receiver to help take some of the coverage off of Thomas, he would ultimately affect the team in a more positive way than you mixing him up. Because when he goes on defense, okay, he broke up one pass play, and I'm sure he did more than that, but he doesn't be able to. I just don't think that he can become elite being on both sides.
No, that makes a lot of sense, and I mean,
he has the talent to be elite.
Yeah, do you think? No, I do. I think the talent is there, but I think they drafted him with that mindset. They drafted him with a mindset that we're gonna sell tickets. But at the same token, expose both of his sides. And I mean, for the most part, when he did play on defense, he did well. I mean, he locked up Devontae Adams on that one play, that one pass breakup, and it looks like. At the same token, they're trying to even out when he's getting the ball up. They even gave him a rush. So, I mean, they're trying to be creative with him, but unfortunately, creative don't win games. They do have to figure out a way to bring the whole team around, not just his gifts, but, coming all together.
Well, they can't run the football. So.
And
I'm a fan of Travis Etienne, but they don't give him a ball enough for him to be effective enough to affect the passing game.
Now, another interesting game from yesterday, I thought, was the Giants and the Broncos. The Broncos were getting their face beat in at first. They had 33 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. Scatterboo, Radaboo. I mean, they had
same boo.
Right, he be wilding. New York consistently scored every quarter. Denver did not score at all the first 3 quarters of the game, in some kind of way came back and won this game. Now, I was watching this game via fantasy football. Shouts out to all my fantasy football players out there. And I started to see the production be very slow for Bo Nix. I'm like, man, I'm starting to get some points out. Oh, Bo Nix finally scored. So, for our folks who didn't check the game out, just to kind of give y'all the recap, Scatterboo almost had 70 yards rushing.
Yep.
He didn't have any touchdowns, right? They ended up going with Tracy for the touchdown in terms of rushing. They had 2. Jackson Dart ran one in as well. I wish he wasn't on my bench this weekend because Jaden Daniels got hurt.
Yeah,
Jaden Daniels my starter.
Okay.
But looks like Jackson Dart about to be the starter moving forward. For right now at least. But my thoughts on New York, CL. We said this about you said this about Houston. We saw it last year with Washington. They don't have no game plan on Jackson Dart.
Not enough.
Now he is an elusive player. Now he can run the ball. I've seen him perform at Ole Miss for the past few years. He does his thing, but just getting down to the nitty gritty with him, they don't have the tape on him. Everybody missed Scatterboo last year. I guess they wasn't watching that Texas game. So I think it's the newness to this New York's offense, this team in general.
And New York is playing with a certain bravado. New York is playing with a certain oomph. I mean, when have you heard of the New York Giants coming to a stadium near you and punch you in the mouth in the first half? That's just not who they've been since maybe O.J. Anderson and Bill Parcells was the head coach.
Right.
That has not been the Giants' makeup. So I think they come in games and they catch you off guard. As much as I'm not ready to put Dart in the Giants Hall of Fame or Scatterboo, these gentlemen are a lot better than we give them credit for, and I'm sure other teams are caught off guard as well. Yeah, they see a little film, but the league doesn't believe in that until you do it like 3 years in a row. They just think you've had a great game. But at the end of the day, we say all this, the Denver Broncos come back to win this game. And the reason, and I usually let Fave be the one to tell you this type of information, but the reason why I spoke of it is because it is so obvious that the Denver Broncos believe in the system. You see how all of this connects now? You see where I was going at from the beginning? The Denver Broncos believe in the system that they have. They down 3 scores in the third quarter, but they will find a way to muster up and come back. At the end of the day, the team is the team. At the end of the day, the Broncos still have a top 10 defense, a top 5 sack leading defense, and they believe in the system. They stay with it. No one starts to blame the other. If one man goes down, the next man steps up. But I say all this just to say they believe in the system, and when you believe and you can run the football, anything is possible on the NFL Sunday.
And this is definitely true. If y'all just tuning in to Inside the Trenches, baby, we going around the league checking out some of the games from the weekend. What teams are real? Which teams are fake? October's that month where teams start to typically find their identity, especially the teams with new players. I want to know if this is real or fake. The Dallas Cowboys, 44-22. Jaden Daniels did get hurt at the end of the game, but Dallas controlled this game basically the whole time. Dak Prescott is on one, 21 for 30, 268 yards, quarterback rating of 88 this past weekend. Found his targets, right? CeeDee Lamb had 110, Pickens had 82. You start looking at guys like Jake Ferguson being clutch, 7 receptions. Running game. Dallas has a running game, right? Yeah. Javonte Williams, 116. Right. That's crazy.
Out of Denver.
Yeah, Javonte Williams, crazy. 116 yards on 19 carries.
Don't make it easy.
When you got a running game, it does level out and make things much easier for you.
It's all tied in.
And then defensively, there's a team that had 4 sacks this past weekend. I thought that Kenneth Murray across the board did exceptionally well. But you go on the the Washington side, and Jaden's production, it's a combination. I don't think it's a C.J. Stroud situation. I do think once he gets healthy, we see a better November, December out of him. But it's his weapons, right? He don't have Scary Terry right now. He don't have Samuel.
He started the game. He literally started the game without his top 3 receivers.
Correct.
And then as the game proceeded, he lost his 4th leading receiver.
Yeah.
So, he had a bench full of receivers out there, but they still played a good game, But what I will not do is overshadow the emergence of the Dallas Cowboys offense. If I'm not mistaken, they are the number 1 offense in football, and I'm not surprised. Ran across Dak over the summer. He was ready. I can't even deny it. 2 Louisiana boys having a conversation. He was ready, and I think we all know what CeeDee Lamb does when he plays. Obviously, he came back. He was out for a couple of weeks, but the weeks that he was out, Perkins showed that he could be a true number 1. Who doesn't have a true number 1? See how that all ties?
Pickens.
Pickens. Yeah, I'm sorry. What I say, Perkins? Yeah. So you have 2 number 1s, and you have a starting running back that'll give you 100 yards in a football game. Not to take anything away from Dak. That makes it a little bit easier to win a football game. And so hats off to the Cowboys. I don't say this very often. I'm very impressed with what Dak is doing with the weapons around him. I think they have suitable weapons around him that he can win his division if they don't shoot themselves in the foot defensively.
And here's another thing to add about the Cowboys. They don't have they have an identity, right?
Number 1 offensive football.
and everything it flows through Dak Prescott. Defensively,
it flows through Williams.
Well, they got a running game, but it still flows through Dak. Look at the production and the passing for Dak. That's that way because of the running game. Yeah, and hand in hand. But he gets the credit because he's managing it.
Yeah, he's
touching the ball every time. He's checking. Denver, Oklahoma, Omaha, checking the run. So he's doing all those proper things. this is like the last 2 seasons, coaching has been exposed in the NFL.
Oh,
It really has.
yeah.
It really depends on the player and the system. I think if you look at how teams are drafting now versus how they drafted in past years, you have to be much more strategic. I mean, for one, you got NIL babies coming in. So you got to see who really has the talent or who was overrated,
Right.
you know, and some guys got to play. But at the same token, you look at Daniel Jones' situation. 38-24, they beat the LA Chargers, and it is legit night and day.
Right.
It is legit
Right.
a 180 turn. You look at Daniel Jones, we was talking about he was overpaid in New York. Y'all wasting y'all money with this dude.
Market value.
And then which was the market value at the time.
Market value.
But at the same token, you put him in a different system. You get him with a different coaching staff that matches his system. I think a lot of time, CL, when you look at what a lot of these players are doing, I mean, a lot of these scouts are doing, they're drafting off of potential based off of how productive a player was. And a lot of times they don't really watch enough tape on the front end.
Right.
They take a lot of words, but they don't, watch enough tape on the front end to make things meet. Would you say?
I would love to chime in on this Daniel Jones situation. First of all, let's all realize that Daniel Jones is handing the ball off to the number 1 rusher in football.
That part.
So obviously he averages 100 yards a game. I'm sure that helps. That helps the defense. That helps Daniel Jones. So no surprise that the Indianapolis Colts are successful. They could run the football. When you run the football, you can win games, you can end games. When the young man was in Minnesota, Sam Darnold was in Minnesota.
Yeah,
he
that's
had
a good
Aaron
point.
Jones to run the football, to help him. So any of these guys, so I would never throw any of the. Look at you talk about night and day. Look at the Jets with Aaron Rodgers last year compared to him now with the Steelers. The Steelers can run the football. They're a better team. They're more balanced compared to when he was with the Jets, when he was slinging it 40 times a game. So the running game goes hand in hand, even though the quarterback does get all the credit, but the running back makes the game so quintessentially easy.
And like I said, in closing here, the coaching staff and how a player like you said, you get Sam Darnold on a different team. When he was the Buffalo, it was horrible.
Right.
Now we're seeing the same thing here with Stitchens and Coach Cooter. Cooter over at Indianapolis is a better system for him. It's one of those situations where
Talent all
around them, you got the running game, you're making it easy. He can make the throws.
End.
He's a first-round draft pick. So, I mean, that's not necessarily a deal breaker. But, again, you bring him to New York, and it just wasn't a good fit.
Right.
Well, y'all, I hope y'all enjoying the show. We want to go around the league. Big ups once again to my girl, Dr. Kendra, representing all day, every day. Health Nut Systems, her and her husband does a great job at not only feeding the spirit, feeding the mind, encouraging folks out there, but the nutrients and their products is great, all natural. You're trying to lose weight, you're trying to get healthy, whatever the case may be, definitely hit them up at stillbody.org. Let them know that you heard about them right here on Inside the Trenches. Hey, well, I think we're going to stick around the NFL, but we're going to go on down south to the 504. It's time to recap the Saints game. We're also going to look at some of the top teams in college football. It's Inside the Trenches. Y'all don't go nowhere. We'll be back.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Conquer Sports Professionals.
Hello, somebody. It's Marlon Big Favorite, Super Bowl champion and national champion. Here's the truth. Almost anybody could play college football and get a scholarship or financial aid if they know who's looking for them. Now, you may not be a Division I or Division II football player, but that doesn't mean you can't play college football on the next level. There's hundreds and thousands of schools out there that's looking for football players like you to give you a great education. Right now, the average cost of school is $27,000 a year. That means that's $180,000 just to graduate. Imagine cutting that number down with a football scholarship or financial aid support. At Conquer Sports Pros, we find the right schools that fit you, your talent, your goals, and your future. And they will pay for your education through football. Don't waste time guessing. Let us connect you with coaches and programs that are already searching for players like you. If you're serious about playing football in college to pay for your education, click the link below or visit csportspros.com and schedule a call today. Hello, somebody.
Conquer Sports Professionals.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Conquer Sports Professionals.
Hey you, what's up? My name is Marlon Big Favorite, Super Bowl champion and national champion. And here are the top 5 ways to stand out for college recruits. Number 1, explosive first 15 seconds on your highlight film. Listen, attention spans are short nowadays. You got to be able to catch their attention right away. So that big hit, make sure it's at the top of that tape. Number 2, consistent game stats. Each week, have your stats updated. If you had 4 tackles for loss and a sack, you need to make sure that's upgraded on your social media. Number 3, strong GPA plus test scores equals college scholarships. Gives you more opportunities. If you have the high grades and if they could get you some extra funds because of your test scores, that is huge. Number 4, positive attitudes coaches can trust. If you have a positive attitude and you look like you could be a nice locker room guy and build a team up, coaches love that. Number 5, hustle on and off the field. So just as well as you're out there making tackles or touchdown catches, you need to be active in your community. A lot of you guys want NIL brands. You need to be able to establish yourself out publicly. And that's definitely key, baby. So look, if you're serious about being recruited, go to csportspros.com if you want help getting a football scholarship. Hello.
Conquer Sports Professionals.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
And just like that, baby, we back like full flesh. It's Inside the Trenches. It's your host, Marlon Big Favorite. And here with my co-host, CL NOLA. We just went around the league. but now it's the moment of truth. Let's come on to our hometown. The New Orleans Saints went on the road and played against a Chicago team that, let's be honest, even though they were over 500, they just finding their way. Coach Ben Johnson is putting his team together. The defense looked exceptionally well yesterday. On the front, with Sweat and all those guys playing pretty good against us. It was the Caleb Williams Rattler showdown, right? And I must say that I got that.
They get it done.
That they get it done, Smile. And then Rattler, it was about the Rattler and Caleb Williams showdown. I thought that both guys started off real slow.
Yep.
Caleb Williams and his center quarterback exchange. Rattler being irresponsible with the football. I think he had like 4 turnovers total. No, 4 interceptions.
3 interceptions.
3 interceptions, 1 fumble. So 4 totals. So, I mean, I guess I want to start that CL, as we unpack this game. A lot of the Saints fans, I know y'all pretty ticked off that the team is starting off slow. Some people actually expected it, right? They're like, oh man, it's kind of one of those situations. Well, it is. It's not kind of. It is one of those situations. You got a team that's 1-6. That's a deep hole to come out of. You're starting to get into some of the conference play now.
Mm-hmm.
Division play, take on Tampa this week. My question for you, despite the fact that Rattler threw 3 interceptions, is more to it, right?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, you got a 5'9" receiver running a fly route, 2 DBs 6'2". That's a tough window to throw it in.
Definitely.
Right? You don't have a big target receiver. So is it a situation where Rattler's being extremely irresponsible, or is he just limited in what he has?
No, I think he's just trying to make a play. We had in the beginning of the first half, we were really kind of vanilla. We didn't open up the offense very much. So you can see in the second half, we immediately opened it up and got back in it with the 2 touchdowns to Olave. I think the real issue is, the real deal is, we're not running the football, and we're not getting it done with Alvin being the primary ball handler. I personally wanted Miller to get the bulk of the carries as he was the last game and a half, but unfortunately he goes down with an injury, so it leaves us to Alvin and Neal in the backfield. I'm here to tell you now, we won't get it done by Alvin averaging 2.3 yards a carry. It just won't happen. And so maybe Taysom can take some carries. Maybe they can trust Neal, the rookie from Kansas, to take some carries. But it will be tough sledding going forward because, of course, McCoy goes down, your starting center, your signal caller, and he's out for the year. So Miller and McCoy is out for the year. So that definitely affects the run game as well all over again. So, it was tough sledding, but that has nothing to do with the fact that the defense gave up 222 yards rushing, which, Swift probably had the game of his life. And I don't necessarily blame the defense because when you turn the ball over 4 times, as did the New York Giants when we got that first win, and they turned the ball over 5 times, it's just not a recipe for winning. And as much as we love our Saints and love our Saints players, I think it's time to truly evaluate everyone. I started seeing Stutzman get some kind of rotation in at linebacker. Obviously Quincy Riley is out there at cornerback. Sampson is getting run at safety. I think it's time for Neal to get some run at running back and maybe let Taysom get some of the tough yards. And maybe use Alvin on the outside. Maybe use Alvin in the slot. But running him up the tackles, just not getting it done. And I'm not even mad at Spencer Rattler because the whole season he had not thrown an interception till this game. And so for him to, have a bad game, he's due a bad game. It's okay for him to have a bad game. but the defense can have a bad game as well and special teams. So, I thought that we could actually get a win out of the Bears this year, but not when they average 7 yards a carry against our defense.
Yeah, I mean, he had 124 yards Swift on yesterday.
Yeah.
That's one of those situations you have to look at the front seven and try to figure out what the heck is going on. In addition to that, the lack of sacks, right? We only had 1 sack yesterday versus their 4. We know how important it is to get to the quarterback, so I think that's something that we have to take a serious look at. You got guys that's really performing well in Demario Davis, flying around making tackles at that age. He had 1 quarterback hitting those sacks. So I think, if you look at his performance in this game, 10 tackles, 6 solo, he led the team in tackles. But that only gets you so far. And, you look at it from the perspective of other guys on the defense. You look to get more plays out of Cam Jordan. You look to get more plays out of Carl Granderson. I thought that Chase Young came back. He was effective. He had, 2, maybe 3 pass breakups. 1 was almost picked off. He got a sack. Or half a sack, should I say. Chase almost young. Brzee got in there with him. That kid is playing consistent.
That young man.
Every game he's playing consistent. Quincy Riley, big time interception, well needed interception, a turnover that we needed.
No points out of that.
0 points out of it.
Not even a 3.
That's the stuff that really it gets to you because
here goes the kicker with the special teams, and we have not put a complete football game together. Not of the offense, the defense, special team. We have not put a complete football game together, and Fave and I could sit up here and give you stats all night and tell you the reasons for this, the reasons for that, until we become a complete football game, till everyone gets on the page, till maybe Vele gets maybe more targets than maybe an Olave, and the first thing I told everybody when they called my phone after the game is, you can't put this game on Olave. We got to look at everything. We have to realize that we're not getting production out of the tight end room. We're like null and void at the tight end room,
And look, in addition to that, the running game is just, listen, bro. Alvin Kamara had some really great years here.
Hey.
But right now, it's just not there. It's not there. AK has been a Pro Bowl performer in this league. I go back to the debate I had with you, with him and Christian McCaffrey. I'm losing that debate by a long shot right now. And I don't want to sit here and say, oh, man, it was AK when he was with Drew Brees. Oh, he's missing he's just really an athlete. He's somebody that he's not, we knew from the beginning, he's not the in-between the tackle guy. When, you think back to
1,000 yards.
Correct. You think back to his 2019 season and what he was able to do in regards to scoring touchdowns. I think it was the Buffalo game. He had like 6 touchdowns or something crazy
Minnesota.
Like that. It was the Minnesota game. He went crazy in that game. But he's like a step off. And I don't think AK is washed. I just think that this system, it doesn't fit him. Even the way it fits a Kendre Miller, who's, like you mentioned earlier, who happened to be hurt. So AK production, and it's like we're forcing it to work.
Exactly. And I don't think he's washed either, because I can bring you back to the third down play when we throw it over the middle to Taysom, and then Taysom throws it to Alvin, and Alvin scoots up the sideline for a first down. I think the problem is we're using him wrong at this point.
Oh, yeah.
We're using him wrong. He needs to be in space. We need to use Alvin in space. We need a young sledgehammer in the back, which we had one with Miller. We'll see what Neal can do. We'll see if they'll put in Taysom at running back and let him run downhill. But I don't think Alvin is washed, and we love Alvin, but I just think we're using him wrong. We can have him in a better situation where he can show off the talents that he still has, and maybe it's not a sin to maybe have Alvin as the decoy of what we actually really doing.
Yeah.
I just, once again, it falls down to the running game. It comes down to system. I don't believe that everybody is on the same page, because you can see the confusion on the field.
Yeah.
I don't believe that everybody's on the same page or believe in the system that we're running right now. And and I've been alluding to that, speaking about other teams earlier in today's show. And it really was all about the New Orleans Saints and them not believing, not having the talent, and that's just a recipe for 1-6.
Chicago Bears beat the Saints 26-14. Now they're 4-2, 2-1. The Saints right now 1-6, 0-3 on the road. It's just really been a tough start for this team. We kind of expected the Saints to start off slow. Coach Kellen Moore, this is his first time as a head coach. He's fresh off of a Super Bowl championship. So it's different, so many different ways you can look at this. I heard CL mention the tight end play earlier. Jawan Johnson is just not cutting it. He's not
even a tight end.
He's not being consistent. He's not blocking. A couple plays, him and AK back to back was just getting Spencer Rattler blown up, not blocking properly. Doesn't have consistent hands. Just not playing up to speed. We're not used to seeing that. Even on what's my boy name, Ben Watson. Even on his last few years, you got more production.
Well, he still was catching.
We'll take it back to the Boo Williams days.
Oh.
Boo was very productive. Jimmy Graham. I mean, that's what we're used to seeing here in New Orleans, and it's just not cutting it. In addition to that, and that's what I said. I hope y'all out there right now not pointing the finger at Spencer Rattler saying, "Oh man, he's stinking it up." Hey, throwing 3 interceptions, forcing plays, that's not the way to go.
Career.
First time in his career, like CL mentioned earlier, you give him a pass now. But at the very end of the day, Peyton Manning had some slow games. We could point at some of the greats who had some slow games. In the case of Spencer Rattler, it's the personnel that's surrounding him. We just talked about Daniel Jones last segment and the players he has around him, the running game he has around him.
Tight end.
The tight ends,
Tyler Warren.
Tyler Warren's playing his tail off. You look at Michael Pittman at the receiver position.
Number 1 draft pick.
Quinn Nelson, one of the top offensive linemen in our league. You're putting all the right things around him. I don't think this is a year the Saints need to go and draft a quarterback. To be quite honest with you, the talent ain't really in this class either like that. You maybe have 1 or 2, maybe 3 guys that might be worth taking a look. I think you have your guy in Spencer Rattler. Now let's get a running game around him. Let's get some big target receivers. Let's improve the offensive line. This team is a team that probably here the next week, really, we about to get up on a trade deadline in about 2 weeks, a week and a half away from the trade deadline. Make some improvements now. And it's not necessarily, I'm not sitting here saying the season is over. I didn't see the New York Giants come from a deficit like this in the season. Not saying the season over for the black and the gold. I am saying for our fans out there to not get too aroused over this team. Keep your expectations a bit low because you got a young coach he's a good coach.
Yeah.
I think he tried some things, CL, on yesterday. I think defensively he has his guy in Coach Staley. They got some personnel issues, bro.
Right.
They got some personnel issues.
In today's football, especially when the New Orleans Saints are playing whoever they're playing, most likely that team that's coming in, they've been in that offense for 3 years. Everybody brand new to the offense. Even the new players are new to the offense. It's just so much newness. Everybody's new to the defense. Now, schematically, everybody done ran a 3-4-4-3. Everybody done flew around in that. But the verbiage and how he wants it executed and adjusting and audibling on the fly, because you can actually, sometimes coverages change inside of routes, not to get too technical for our listeners, but, there's just so many nuances and things that you have to learn in not just a course of training camp, but in the course of a year. This is new for everybody on offense and defense, even on special teams, because we have a new special teams coordinator.
Yeah.
So, I would sit back and understand that this is what rebuild is.
Mm-hmm.
This is what rebuilding looks like. It's not pretty. It's not fantastic. You get a few wins. It looks good some weeks. Obviously the Giants game, we had the 5 turnovers. It looked good. It even looked good on some games where we ran the football, we stayed balanced. Unfortunately, we lost the game. Are we getting better is the question. And I believe to a man, we are getting better. We realize we got 2 bookends that we can go in the future with. We also realize that maybe we need to get some younger running backs in. Maybe we need to spend some money on a real tight end. Maybe we need to draft a wide receiver, number 1 overall, a real playmaker. So we're learning these things. Unfortunately, learning doesn't equate to wins, and that's why we want to see.
Right, and the production was just low, man. We're not used to seeing this around here. It was 44 yards rushing, period, yesterday.
And who's used to the Bears coming in to punch you in the mouth? We thinking this the same old Bears, even though them boys had won 3 games in a row. That's what it should have woke them up. And think about it. Spencer Rattler went against his head coach yesterday. Know everything about him.
Yeah. I mean, look.
Shouts out to Dennis Allen.
In addition to him going against Dennis Allen and Coach Allen knowing everything about him, this man just had it out for him.
Of course.
Right? Obviously you get fired in the middle of the season. The interim coach takes over. And, I mean, luckily for you, you were able to go get another job in the NFL.
Well, he's a good defense.
I would say he's an excellent coordinator. But, at the same token with the Saints, you got to go into this game knowing that defensively they about to bring it, right?
Sure.
And I just felt like the game plan was extremely vanilla. We didn't see. I don't know if was Veely hurt yesterday.
No, he was in there for a little bit. He was inside the slot a couple. They just don't use him enough.
That's what I'm saying. The production. Let's just go through.
Don't use him enough.
Let's just go through the production at the receiver position real quick, right? You got Chris Olave, he almost had $1.
Mm-hmm.
19 was the loan. They called a spark, and he had 2 touchdowns, right? We're going to stick with that. He scored in the only 2 touchdowns we had yesterday.
Trying to get a trade value.
Hey, and to be honest with you, like, we saying this jokingly, but, I mean, let's be honest, the trade date is coming up here. And, I mean, this is something seriously we have to take a look at. Which direction?
One touchdown.
Which direction are we going to take this team? Are we going to take this team in a direction to where we trade a Chris Olave, or we look at trading a Alvin Kamara, or we look at a Demario Davis? It's not really a lot of value on this team. So this team is a team that has to build value. Like, nobody's really standing out. The standout player to me, if you ask me who the standout player on this team is, I'm saying Brian Bruzy.
All day.
I know the name of this show is Inside the Trenches.
All day.
But that's the only person, in my opinion, who has really stood out on this team.
And my 2 tackles. I would give it up to my 2 tackles.
Yeah, well,
I mean, once again, they're young, so you're gonna know the influx, but they're not the problem.
No, it's like I said, it's the Eric McCoy keeps getting hurt is the problem.
Interior.
We drafted what's your boy Penning?
Yeah, I think he's doing all right.
Yeah, because they moved him to the guard, but I mean, would you look back and say, man, yeah, I'm glad we drafted him in the first round?
Well, of course not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's playing better.
We can go down the list for that.
Hit me out.
Yeah.
Cesar Ruiz, right? Would you draft him in the first round if you go back and do it over again? That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to draft a first-round offensive lineman, go get Quinn Nelson. Oh, let me make it extremely easy for you. Just draft the SEC lineman. That's the best route to go. Don't overthink it. Those dudes are in the trenches. They go against some of the best talent.
Just draft a tight end out of Iowa.
Well, that's something to look at. Now, I say tight end is somewhere they need to go at. But to be honest with you, right now, the first thing that they need to go high value, high
right now we the 3rd pick right now in the draft.
And we need to go get the best wide receiver in the draft because
he's at Ohio State.
There you go.
Mr. Smith.
If he's still on the board, which he most likely will be, go get somebody like him. We need how big is he? Is he like 6 foot?
He's about 6'3".
6'3", and could make a play on the ball. Like the last time we seen big wide receiver play around here was with Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas is long gone from this team. So that's what I'm saying. See, outside of, we could sit here and, oh man, Kellen Moore making horrible play calling. Oh man, this and that. the bottom line is Alvin Kamara don't have the offensive line he has before, and he don't have the threat from a like Drew Brees threatened secondary.
And
right?
guess who they're keying on?
You see what I'm saying?
You already don't have the offensive line that's just gonna move people out the way. But then you got 11 eyes on defense. I say 9. You got 9 eyes on defense. So everything out the backfield is dead. Everything over the middle. That's why you keep getting hit hard. Because they just waiting on it.
And like I said, the challenge, if you watch the game with a close lens, and the folks that went to Chicago, big ups to them.
Shout out to who that Travel Nation.
Yeah,
Y'all
big ups to
boys
them.
did
They did their thing. But I'm going to say this. If you look at it, I'm like, man, why Spencer keep checking the ball? Everything. Dumb down. Because Dennis Allen had a plan for the back from the very jump. He 5'9". He 5'10". All right, we're gonna make it to where they better fit this ball right in this one. Brandon Cooks, we didn't see him. That's what I'm saying. It just, to me, it was bad decision out of bad decision. With, like I said, Dennis kind of got you twice because he drafted these guys, and then he left you with
Dennis also knew if he keeps sending 9 off that edge,
they
not gonna block him. They can't. And he going through their face. It happened to 83. It happened to 41. And the effective the quarterback. That boy blitzed at least 6 times off the edge. They don't even do that in football, like talking about it. Because by the second time, they would have had somebody, a tight end or a tackle, scoot out to stone him and get his mind right. And he ain't coming up in there no more. But unfortunately, Dennis had a cake baked for us. A true New Orleans daiquiri baked cake for us. And he executed, and his defense executed tremendously on Sunday. And we just didn't show up.
Y'all feel free to comment below. We want to hear from y'all. Just give me your thoughts on the team. I mean, they 1-6 right now. At this point, it's beat Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Beat Tampa. I think at that point, that's the only thing at this point of the season that will make the Saints fans feel somewhat. But, I mean, before we close this segment out, and we're going to switch gears the next segment, we talking No Limit versus Cash Money. We're going to bring our residential musician Damian back on. But just to kind of close this session out, just to give y'all the issues and what we think should happen. I mean, right now, the decline in Alvin Kamara's production is starting to show big time. I think AK could be more valuable to a team like a Kansas City or something like that. But the man publicly came out and said, I ain't going nowhere. If I do, I'm going to go get a pina colada somewhere. So it sounds like he's trying to go to Cali. Well, that's one thing.
Well, it's unfortunate, Fave. It's unfortunate because Alvin really killed the deal for us. Him saying that he would go get a pina colada is not helping his trade value.
Correct.
It's really stopping the trade altogether.
Mm-hmm. You got the injury to Eric McCoy. That was big.
Tremendous.
You got the injury to Kendrick Miller. That was huge.
Tremendous.
Overall, this probably wasn't Spencer Rattler's best game. I think he improves from this game. And, hey, they 1-6 right now. So, look, Who Dat Nation, just continue to root your Who That's on. Tulane keeping us rolling. LSU, like we mentioned earlier, they got a big game coming up
Pelicans first game
this
Thursday.
weekend. Pelicans playing their first game Thursday. Next week, we definitely going to recap and talk about that game. Well, look, y'all, we rolling here. We got one more segment. As I mentioned to y'all before, we're going to talk about this big versus matchup. I'm going to have my laptop watching the versus this weekend, and at the same time looking at the Texas A&M game, seeing what's going on, baby. Looking forward to it. Once again, if you need an injury attorney, get Gordon, get it done. Y'all be sure to give them a call at 504-800-8888. Get Gordon, get them done. Make sure you let him know that you heard about him right here on Inside the Trenches, baby. Well, we got that out the way, baby. The Saints go ahead and take on Tampa next week at home. Go ahead and get you a win. LSU, you coming back home. Texas A&M, you try your best to go ahead and get a win. And Tulane, y'all keep up the good work, baby.
Right.
It's Inside the Trenches. Y'all don't go nowhere. When we come back, we're going to talk about it, baby. No Limit versus Cash Money is going down this weekend, October 25th. It's Inside the Trenches right here on ESPN Baton Rouge.
Dentro de las trincheras.
inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras. Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Just like that, baby, we're back. Welcome back to Inside the Trenches. And y'all know time flies by when you're having a good time. It's your boy Big Fave. I'm here with CL NOLA, and we got my man Damian back on the set, our residential musician. Okay, so a couple ways I want to look at this, guys. We've been waiting for this a long time. This one here is long in the making. I told y'all before we went, I'm going to legit have my laptop right here in front of me, watching the LSU game, checking out the verses. Kind of like my boy Hunt was the other day. He had the Cubs game on, watching the South Carolina game. But a couple things I want to point out with this verses, y'all. First and foremost, for all the hip-hop heads out there, I know y'all loving this. Big ups to you people. I know he excited about this one this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Very connected to both labels.
Yes,
probably gonna do most of the mix. Him and Spin gonna do a lot of the mixing for this anyway. So we kind of connected, y'all. So Damian, I'm gonna come to you first. we talked about what we look for in a versus, right? Heartfelt songs, legendary songs, the beat, the delivery, the flow. I guess when you watch this versus this weekend or compare it to other verses, what's some of the things you look for?
I think since these are like two emblematic like labels from the southern hip hop, I'm expecting everything. If I gotta be honest, I'm expecting to be bringing their like the whole core that they were in back in the 90s and the 2000s, but also trying to bring something new to the table. Since like time changes so fast and hip hop is evolving, I think it's we need to be aware of the movement that is going on and how they're gonna be able to push it forward as they were like back in the day. You know.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's definitely a good point because if you look at both of these labels back in the day, I mean, first and foremost, you would never get a deal like this in hip hop ever again with Master P and Baby, Ronald Slim, and all those guys were able to pull off. Master P started off first,
Yeah.
85-15. Cash Money, 80-20 splits with these major labels. It definitely seemed like the label CL was betting against them. Like, oh man, they ain't about to do these numbers. We ain't got to worry about that. Boy, P showed up and showed out in them late 90s, huh?
I mean, I would like to believe that Cash Money and No Limit gave a successful blueprint to a record labels back in the G. You know, I'm so embedded in it, obviously being from New Orleans, born and raised, and I grew up listening to Cash Money, you know, back in the UNLV days, the Lil Slim days, you know. And I know so much history of Cash Money and No Limit. So I have all types of questions how they're gonna go about doing this, you know, because if you know anything, you know Mac started out on Cash Money first.
Yeah.
So where does Mac stand with that? You
Well,
know?
that's a good. Well, he wasn't signed with Cash Money though.
Yeah, well,
But his first,
his
He was
first
kinda, like,
major
affiliated
song was
with
on
it.
Retaliation.
Yeah.
So, we could even go to is Mystical gonna be available? You know, what part of my question is what part of No Limit are they gonna bring out? Right? When they
Yeah.
bring out, because if you know C's still on lock, shouts out to C Murder, C's still on lock. So can we use them other? You know, can we use that song because C's still alive? You know, is Mia invited to this situation? You
Mia
know, they
gonna
had
be
a
there.
snafu with Mia on the last Love Bop Bop. You know, so is Mia gonna be a part of that? Unladed, like that album is amazing. There's just so much of No Limit outside of the No Limit that everybody else knows.
Yes.
What will be presented at this versus? I'm curious to know.
if y'all just tuning in, baby, it's Inside the Trenches. We talking verses. To me, this probably gonna be one of the biggest verses we've seen thus far. Big Southern matchup. Two major.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about two giants in the music industry.
Yeah.
And No Limit and Cash Money. Both basically dominated the back half of the 90s.
Definitely.
This was the last of like this era from 98. Damn, I'm looking at that.
Oh,
Really was like,
wow.
no, I'm gonna say between 97 and maybe I had that right.
2006.
I'm gonna say 98 and I'm gonna say 98, and I'm gonna tell y'all what I'm getting at. 98 to 2008 was the last time you really had people buying CDs. So like I remember when Lil Wayne dropped the Carter 3 in 07. We went and bought that album. So I talked to Chopper and Baby Boy about that, friends of the show. People went and bought their albums. Insane. People went and bought his albums with Big Boy Records.
Right.
So these guys dominated the record sales. Like in order to get a No Limit album, you had to go buy it and put it in your CD player. You couldn't put it on an MP3 or any of that stuff yet. So to talk about the time frame of when these guys dominated. Now, I want to know the full rules of engagement.
That's my question. How are we lining this up? Because there are songs that BG and Lil Wayne did on True Stories, the BG first album. That's tremendous. That could be put in the mix. Are we just talking Hot Boy, because once again, Cash Money still got UNLV. Like it, who is allowed to participate in this verses? It's probably a better question.
I think it is because it's a international thing. I don't think a lot of those regional hits we're gonna hear a lot from.
Right.
But it will be really interesting to see that, because that's essentially like the main core of them.
Right.
Like you know, like you cannot. I feel like at least me being part of New Orleans since I was 15 in here and being able to like be part of know of the culture, I think it's a really essential part to display that, because like you cannot lose that essence. You know,
because you can't be heavy. You can't be heavy on Wayne as much, because Wayne by himself came later in the 2000s. Now you can use Wayne's song.
Yeah.
You can use Hot Boy, Wayne inside the Hot Boys, but once again, what's the criteria? Because everybody knows BG held Cash Money down for 6 albums.
What, those 6 albums, but you got to look at he only had 2 national albums.
Right.
So that's what I think, this is what I'm saying, because it's a
I
national.
do need the rules.
well, I think the rules of engagement probably both, I mean, Manny Fresh is involved. So obviously it was a part of Cash Money, like from 2005 till present. Manny was the main producer.
Right.
So I think,
because even KL and them left No Limit at some point on Beats by the Pound. They eventually left No Limit at some point.
That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, what's the rules?
Then you had Move, Trick, Get Out the Way. That was produced by KLC, Beats by the Pound. So you still had, to your point, we want to know what's the rules of engagement, but at the same time, because rules of engagement, here's what I mean by that. I'll go in depth. Could Cash Money pull out Nick and Drake? Could they pull out Drake and Nicki Minaj?
That's Cash Money.
See what I'm saying? So that would be because No Limit don't really have any pulls outside of, like, major pulls. Like, now there's one major pull that this is really going to hit them. Chopper Style.
Okay.
Chopper will be there. I do think that this is one of those situations where Chopper Style could, because that song is still relevant and like the world know, they hear that beat, I forgot about that. Right. So, and another thing, DCL, I compare this to when the Lox and Dipset went. Here's why I'm doing that. We talking boroughs. We talking Harlem versus Yonkers. We talking Calio, Magnolia. So where it looked like the Dipset had the edge, boy, the Lox, and we're going to get to these track listings here soon. We want y'all to chime in.
Right. Well, I mean, just to touch in on that, I always knew it was gonna be the Lox, because first of all, Jada Kiss has never wasted a verse. And then I think Sheik Luke's all right, but why I can't think of my
Styles
boy.
P.
I think Styles P is probably the most underrated rapper in hip-hop ever.
Indeed. Yes,
just
indeed.
to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
But this is my thought process. I'm not sure how P and them gonna come to the situation, but if P involves Mia X, Fiend, Mystical, and Mac, Cash Money don't got a chance.
Nah, we're going to get into that, because
I'm just being honest.
We're going to go through this list of songs. Before I get through the list of songs, you're younger than me and CL. So because you're a musician, you could dig into these guys' catalog. So off the dump, Back That Thing Up by Juvenile.
Yeah.
You heard that a million times.
Yeah, legendary record.
You see, so that's, but this battle this versus, should I say, is going to really boil down to the time frame, right? Like us, really, between the
when does
ages
it cut
of like
off?
35 and I would probably say between the ages of 30 and 50 years of age is where this thing really sits. So let's kind of do some back and forth, right? Let's do our own inside the trenches versus of No Limit versus Cash Money. And we got Damian here. He knows most of these songs, a little bit younger than us. But CL, as he's kind of already singing the songs as I'm talking right now. So, all right. No Limit, Down for My versus Cash Money, I'm going to say 400 Degrees.
Well, you doing a song versus an album.
No, 400 Degrees is a song.
Oh, you want that song?
Oh yeah, they gonna probably pull that song out.
I think
Oof.
I think it's C on that one. That song went so far. That song still
It's a hot, it's a hot take.
Snoop Dogg on there, Magic.
Come on.
That's a big dog song. All right, make them say back that thing up.
Of course, I say back that.
Yeah, back that thing.
Yeah.
I agree on that.
When that song plays, and it's probably gonna go further down the list.
Mm.
This is just round 1, right? We got 2 rounds of 10. Shake It Fast versus Bling Bling.
The lady.
Bling Bling.
I think that's when the lady. I think they always knew Cash Money was about stunting, but I think that's when the ladies got on Mystical nationwide.
Shake It Fast and Bling Bling dropped in '99. Shake It Fast, that was like 2001. So it's a 2-year gap.
Yeah.
Mystical, and technically, we saying that from Mystical, that wasn't a No Limit song.
Right.
So it's back to Rules of Engagement.
Mhm.
Pharrell produced that.
Yeah, but that Unpredictable was crazy.
Mystical still smoking. 400. I said 400 degrees. I got that fire. I got that fire, girl.
Still
Holla.
smoking. I'm starving.
See,
Yeah.
boy. I see what.
Eyes halfway open.
All right. Ghetto Symphony, Snoop Dogg, right? Or The Block Is Hot, Lil Wayne.
Block it.
The Block Is Hot.
That was a hit, Andy.
Yeah,
Dun, dun, dun,
It's different.
dun, dun, dun.
All right.
For sure. That track was just.
It's a monster.
All right, we still rolling here. Okay, let's do this. Let's go. I got the hookup or get your roll on.
Now, let me give you the history. I Got the Hookup actually turned into a whole movie.
Yeah. Never said.
Matter of
I
fact,
got
two
the hookup.
movies.
Holla if you hear me.
So that's rough. I do rock with Cash Money. Ooh, they get your roll on in the Plaza parking lot. But they actually had a video for that, of course.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna.
That was a Plaza parking lot.
Yeah.
BG was hanging out the car.
Yeah. When they hit the Ferrari with the Bentley.
When they did the donut.
Yeah, that was in the Plaza parking lot.
So you get No Limit Cash Money.
I got to push on that one.
All right.
That's a rough one for me.
Yeah, that's tough.
I'm gonna go to get your roll on it.
It was a hit, bro.
Yeah, it's.
I Got the Hookup did have a movie, and that was the song of that summer. I give them that summer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. In this time frame, I'm gonna take a little break real quick here, and I gotta mention this because this is just so nostalgic to me. No Limit went nationwide big time in '97.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they went big time. But Master P's colossal year was '98. Incidentally speaking, Cash Money dropped their first nationwide single, Stuntin'. I bought a Hummer that's sitting on 32s.
I'm giving the blues.
August, and Baby, Wayne, and then y'all listening, Juvie, y'all correct me on this, or Manny. I might
That's
be
out the
wrong, but
man
my
at
time
first.
frame rose a little. I might
That's
be
out
right
the
on.
man.
That single dropped summer of 1998. It was on. I never forget. I couldn't wait till they requested it on the box. Remember the video
old school.
show where they used to put the. Well, I couldn't wait till it came on because I'm like, man, them dudes from here. And No Limit had already made it big time, but it's like, man, we better have another label. And then they drop. I told, and then I'll be back
Well,
in
it's-
a brand new
yeah.
Fleetwood.
Well, for me, it's when Han dropped. When they
But
dropped
we
Han.
gonna get there.
Yeah.
We gonna get there in a second. Han dropped. I want to say that was October of 1998. Now watch this. 400 Degrees dropped November 2nd, 1998. I ain't had to Google that. I remember that shit. Drop. Because it was so cold, they dropped the same album
Yeah.
again in March
Yeah.
of the next year, 99.
Yeah.
1999 was Cash Money year.
Right.
Now, Cash Money was able to stay relevant. I think No Limit's relevance dropped off a little bit after Chopper Style. They tried the new No Limit.
Yeah,
You know,
that
they
was
kind of
Yeah.
They had some hits. You
tried,
had the tight
you know.
whips.
But at some point in time, No Limit was doing their thing because they was dropping albums every other week.
That's what I'm saying. 35 albums nationwide.
Because at the end of the day, I think Silk got 2 albums. Murder got 2.
Yes,
Fiend got what? At least one.
He got 2. No, and there's
No
one
Limit?
there's one in every family.
Oh,
I said
sure
the
live.
street say if I know.
Mac got 2.
He got 2.
Shell Shock.
And World War III.
Right. Mia got 2.
Yeah.
Unladylike and something else.
I'm going to have to ask Mac. Nah, World War III dropped in 99.
And ask yourself this. Are they going to allow for them to play Soulja Slim?
That's what I'm saying.
That's 2 different Soulja Slim albums.
Yeah.
You got Slow Motion with Cash Money.
No, you got 3. Oh, I see.
And then you got I Was Told with No Limit.
Give it to him raw.
Come on,
what I was told.
Yeah.
That was on Give It to Him Raw.
And we gonna hit like Pac and Death Row with big money out
I'm telling you, Master, it's gonna all boil down to
the rule.
Quantity versus quality.
Right.
No Limit has a lot of quantity. So in that quantity, you'll find a lot of quality. So that means for instance, No Limit dropped 35 albums, right? So if you take 2 songs from each album, it's enough Tank Dog to go against Cash Money.
Yeah.
Cash Money has a lot of quality. I mean, Manny's beats, bro. 400
He's my idol, man.
400 degrees can
biggest
take everything all out.
man.
Mhm.
Manny is one of my biggest inspirations, at least at me as a musician, as a producer. When I do my stuff, he's the door that got me into like the hip hop thing. So yeah, like when it comes to the sound of Cash Money, they like just not giving the flowers that he needs, and he's just pushing on it. It's kind of like crazy,
Well, typical New Orleans, you don't get your flowers until you're gone.
Yeah.
That's
Unfortunately,
and that's kind of crazy for me. That drives me crazy for it.
It's sad but true. Well, man, we giving you flowers right here on Inside the
100%.
Trenches, bro. You one of the best producers of all time.
Yes.
You're in the top 5 of the greatest producers. You got people like Rick Rubin, you got Pharrell, you got Timbaland. You up there amongst them, brother.
And it's fresh.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, so now let's get back to the list. It Ain't My Fault, Still Fly.
Get a boo with the pimped
Yeah.
out Gucci suit. Ain't got no job.
The big
But
timer.
I station.
But I ain't gonna lie. Oh, it ain't my fault. You can't stop.
That's rough. That's what I'm saying. If they could use Mystical, it's gonna be something. If they could use Mystical, it's gonna be something.
Now,
Yeah.
Fiend, who got that fire?
That's
The hot boys, we on fire.
See, I know that who got that fire personally, but you can't
Hot
run. You
boys.
can't run from that hot boys. Them boys
Yeah, no,
running
hot
down the
boys.
street. They just
That was fire, yeah.
Hot
that was
boys.
fire.
yeah. With
All
their
right.
pants falling. Yeah, you can't outrun that song.
Bourbons and Lax or Project Chick?
Oh, Project Chick, for sure.
Be Pleased,
And I
Snoop
drive
Dogg,
Lax.
Exhibit, or number 1 Stunner? I'm going number 1 Stunner. All right, let's go round 2. Mr. Ice Cream Man, Master P No Limit, or Go DJ Lil Wayne Cash Money?
Go DJ.
Shouts
like
out
it's-
to my DJ Raj Smooth, but
Yes,
Raj Smooth,
sir.
The greatest DJ in
DJ.
the world.
Come on.
All right. I miss my homies, right? And respect my mind. Respect my mind. That was on the Hot Boys album. I don't know how that made it to this list. This is not my list.
You should have did the Damn I Miss My Dog. By
I miss my homies or I miss my dogs. Lil Wayne called on one. That's a man
Yeah.
to beat.
yeah. Obviously, man,
Okay, I don't know. I miss my homies. That was big.
it was
Pimp
big.
C was on there.
It was
I-
big.
I remember that, man, D. No Limit and Cash Money used to do Teen Summit. Boy, I
Yeah.
remember when they did that Teen Summit, boy, they had the whole dome rolling.
Yeah, that's throwback right there. So Teen Summit used to be where all the teens, they would come over the summer and they would go into the UNO Lakefront Arena. And it would
Oh.
just be a huge free concert. I mean, it used to be crazy around there. But it
Used
was
to-
actually something they did. I don't know if NOLA gave it. I don't know who actually gave it, but Teen Summit used to be a thing down here where, you know, we have so much local talent. I guess you could tell you
Yeah.
local talent people. But there's so much local talent, you would always see, you know, I mean, I couldn't tell you how many times I've seen Partners in Crime perform. I couldn't tell you how many times I've seen Cash Money, No Limit, you know, because these guys been doing it for years before it hit the world stage. Like Mystical told you, it took him 13 years to get to where, you know, get to that plateau.
Yeah.
Of No Limit. So we have been seeing these guys perform, and you know, even Jubilee. Shouts out to Jubilee. Shouts out to all these people that performed in New Orleans, you know, and made a name for themselves. And this is just another example of it because Cash Money and No Limit truly are New Orleans, and it started all here.
Well, let's do 2 more, y'all, because we up against the clock. Chopper Style or I Need a Hot Girl?
See, what I Need a Hot Girl did personally for me.
There you go.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be selfish, y'all.
Yeah.
Certain songs, shall I say, move the crowd.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to go.
All right. I'm About It. You say you bout it. No Limit. All right. Or, ooh, I like this one. Neighborhood Superstars, Hot Boys.
Now, in real life, we know I'm a New Orleans neighborhood superstar, and I appreciate all the love on every Sunday. But that body, it changed lives. When that song came on,
that song was serious.
dog, I don't know where you was at and who you was with, but you better get with who you supposed to be with, because it was going down when that song came on. So as much as I love being a neighborhood superstar in the city of New Orleans, I gotta do About It.
Cash Money. Manny Fresh, Real Big. House, Real Big.
Oh, my God.
Real big.
All right. Or Master P, How You Do That There. Ooh.
Oh, my God. This is a really...
They still play How You Do That there in Baton Rouge right now. I heard How You Do That there this weekend.
See you in the street.
I mean...
Anything
yeah,
goes. My cousin in the pen hit that. I ain't getting swole.
For
Yo,
me,
this is gonna be
for
fun.
me, Real Big is the one for me. Like that's the one that discovered.
Real Big?
Yeah, Real Big for me. I remember when I was like 6 years old.
Oh,
I didn't even know English in the moment, but just listening to the track, I was like,
Come on.
that's the thing. That was hot for me, and that's how crazy it is for me. Real Big. I still give the flowers to the other one though. The other one is way bigger though.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just it's kind of like a selfish thing with Real Big with me. So
Nah, that make a lot of
selfish
sense.
on this.
you know.
We're gonna have to be selfish. Well, y'all get ready. This is gonna be one matchup. You're talking about 2 giant labels in the South. Definitely set the tone for the music industry, period.
Yes.
I look forward to it. Y'all feel free to comment below. Tell me what y'all think. It's buku songs we didn't mention. Huh? Oh yeah, man. Hold on. Let's stop the press for a second. Shouts out to my man Tommy at the Acadiana Fest.
Real.
Thank y'all for having us.
Thank
The crowd was great.
Amazing.
The crowd was insane. It was amazing. I felt the energy on the stage.
Sure.
T.I. came out and rocked it.
Hey.
Big Hurt rock.
Big Hurt. Oh, man. Big Hurt
Man.
was... Dog, that
Clearly-
dude is an entertainer,
Clearly,
bro.
I'm not in shape.
Yeah.
That dude could get up there and do that.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Big Hurt, brother.
Big
you
ups to
the
Big
man.
Hurt.
You the man.
DJ
dog.
Spin was in his zone,
for
man.
sure.
He killed it for like an hour straight. They they allowed me to do Hello Somebody on the last song. That was fun.
And you know,
So-
shouts out to T.I. because that catalog, and he didn't shortchange him at all.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I
I was like, he gonna keep going? I'm all in the car with the window down, like, he just gonna keep going.
Yeah, because you was waiting on the rain. That's
I
right.
pull it off. So, shouts out to T.I. for coming down and showing up. And maybe next year we could get Mr. Daniel, CH, and Mr. By that time, maybe y'all done made a song.
Hey.
And maybe
CH.
we can...
CA's gonna produce a couple songs,
Yeah.
and he gonna get some verses from
I'll jump on the ad nails for y'all.
Yeah, do that for us. Well, look, man, big ups to y'all. Remember, y'all check out that big verses this weekend.
Sure.
No Limit versus Cash Money. Big ups to all our sponsors. Big ups to the Get Gordon and Get It Done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Big ups to Dr. Kendra over there at Health Nut System. Y'all remember, visit stillbody.org for more information on how to get these wonderful products. Big ups to Conquer Sports Pros as well, baby. So look, we're going to be back next Monday, same time, same place. right here at Loyola. Big ups to my production crew. Our special guest, Damian, coming through CH in the building, baby.
True stuff. Coming real soon.
Yes,
to
indeed.
TV near you.
Let's get it, baby. Inside the trenches, my man D, my man CL NOLA. We'll be back next week. See ya.